Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Janet. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. In today's video, we are going to have just a girl chat. I got some Chardonnay and we are just gonna have a chat because your girl has been going through it. Okay, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, but for the good though. So I just wanted to talk about navigating your 20-something, being in that period from the old version of who you used to be and elevating to the best version of yourself. The essence of this video is for anyone who is in that space of, I used to be like this, but I want to get better. I want to be the best version of myself. And I am here in the middle and I don't know what to do. I don't know what's the first steps. I don't know how to tackle it because it seems so overwhelming, and I'm comfortable where I am, but I also know that where I am is not going to take me to where I want to go. So if you feel that way, girl, grab a glass of wine because this video is just for you. I turned 29 a couple of months ago, and 29 was such a wake-up call for me. And I don't know if because 30 was around the corner and I'm like, girl, it's our last year of our 20s. Like, what are we doing? What's the vibe? Like, how are we going to end our 20s so that going into our 30s, you know, like it's a new level, it's a new energy, it's a new decade. So what's the vibes giving? So I think I had a lot of pressure for myself to really look at my life and look at what I'm doing and if it is in alignment with where I want to be and where I want to go with the rest of my life. And when I started thinking about it and really like digging deep, I started to realize like, no ma'am, I am not doing the things that I need to be doing to be the person that I know that I'm called to be and to be the best version of myself. In order to fix that, I had to fix some things within myself, and I also had to make some changes in my life. So those are the things that I'm gonna talk about today. I'm still in the journey. Like, I still haven't arrived and I'm not expecting to arrive, but I do know this evolved version of myself that I am working to be. But I am in the midst of being from where I was to working on myself to eventually get to where I want to go. I just want to go ahead and give you guys some of the things that I've implemented in my life and how I've gotten to this point to have this enlightenment and really be devoted and disciplined and wanting to change my life and be the best version of myself possible. So the first thing that I had to do was I had to do a complete audit of my life. I had to look at who is this best version of myself. What does she do? What does she look like? What does her life look like? What are her hobbies? What does a day look like in her life? What does she feel like? What is her energy like? Like, I just had to create this idea that I have in my heart and my soul of who I know that I am, and I just had to like build her on paper. So I just sat down one day, and you know the feeling of your higher self and that best version of yourself. So everything that you imagine, that you enjoy, that you feel is fulfilling to you, and this person that you know that you can become, write all of that down on a piece of paper. It don't even have to be broken down into sections. Just write it down. Write it all down. What does she do? How does she act? Who are her friends? Does she want kids? Where does she live? Like, just be so detailed about it. And then look at your life, right? Do a complete audit. Okay, if I say my best version of myself, she is healthy, she is fit, she eats good, nutritious food, she takes her vitamins, she is on top of her appointments and all of that. I have to then take what I put here, right? And then look at my life right now. Am I working out? Am I eating healthy foods? Am I taking vitamins? When was the last time I went to go get a physical, a pap smear, a annual? Like, you literally have to look at that side of yourself and then look at where you are now. And if you're like, well, I'm not working out. Okay, so why aren't you working out? Why aren't you going to your doctor's appointments? Why aren't you eating healthy? Then you start getting down to the root of why I'm not practicing these habits to become this best version of myself. So that's just one example. Another example will be my best version of myself. She dresses well, she smells nice, you know, she takes care of herself, she gets her hair done, her nails done, XYZ. Look at where you are right now. Do you get your hair done often? Do you get your nails done often? Do you practice self-care? Do you do these things to take care of your appearance? If not, okay, so why can't I do this right now? What's stopping me from doing this right now? So once you start breaking it down and really realize like the root of the reason why you're not doing the things that you want to do, it makes it easier for you to then set a goal, set a plan in place so that you can begin doing those things so that you can get closer to that best version of yourself. I think the biggest part that I used to struggle with is that I didn't used to be honest with myself. So if I'm not telling myself the truth, even though it's gonna suck to hear it, if I'm not telling myself the truth, then I can't set a goal and have an intention of actually completing that goal, because I don't believe that I necessarily need to change things about myself, right? And that is such a skewed way to look at growth and evolving, because there's always gonna be areas that you need to get better at. We're human, no one's perfect. You have to utilize that time and be honest with yourself. It's gonna suck to hear that maybe the reason why you're not the person that you wanna be right now is because you're a little lazy. You procrastinate. You don't have the discipline. No one wants to hear that. I didn't wanna tell myself that. I did not wanna tell myself, like, Janet, the reason why you're not getting the things that you wanna get is because you don't have the discipline and you're not consistent. So how do you expect things to come to you? How do you expect to be this version of yourself when you're not even disciplined enough to maintain it? You think I wanted to hear that coming from myself? I had to tell myself the truth, because someone could look at my life and be like, oh no, girl, you good. Oh no, you know, you da-da-da-da. But I know that I can be doing more. I know that I can be reaching new heights and elevating myself. So I have to make sure that I'm being honest with myself so that I make the necessary changes in my life to be that best version of myself. So once you do a complete audit, you will know what areas that are top priority for you, and you will then be able to set a plan in place to then reach that. And the thing is, you don't have to do it overnight. Things like this take time. Rome was not built in a day, and neither will the best version of yourself, right? It's a constant journey. So be patient with yourself day by day. We're going to implement these goals, implement these plans so that we can then get to that best version of ourselves. And before you know it, like, you will get there and then realize, like, wow, everything that I was doing, just because I literally started doing this, it's brought me this far. What makes it easier to maintain and track is creating a routine. I know. Look, anytime someone says something about a routine, I'm like, please.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Who wants another routine? I'm tired of the routines. I don't want another routine.
But I hate to break it to you, because I had to break it to myself. Sis, you need a routine. Yeah, you do. You do. And the reason why you need a routine is because all of these goals we just set, how are we gonna do them? How are we gonna accomplish them if we don't have a plan on a day-to-day basis of how we're going to do a little bit at a time, right? Okay, if you say, you know what, I wanna be fit, I wanna take care of my body, da-da-da-da, I wanna lose this many pounds, da-da-da-da. Okay, what are you gonna do every day that's going to allow you to reach that goal? Because the days go by things are always gonna change. There's always gonna be something going on. Life is moving. So that routine keeps you grounded to make sure that you are staying focused on your goals to be able to reach that ultimate goal and then in turn become the best version of yourself. For me personally, I used to think routines were just so rigid, so structured, so do. I do this every single day. And to me, I want to fly like a bird. Like, I want to be free. I don't want to be doing the same thing every day, right? I like variety. I like to mix it up, surprise me. Like that's how I move with life. But then I also had to realize that I need balance. As much as I love to be free, I didn't have a lot of structure with being free. And then in turn, because I didn't have structure, I was wilding. I was just living life like it was no tomorrow. But then tomorrow came and now I gotta deal with tomorrow's problems, and now I'm stressed out and anxious about these problems because I didn't have a plan in place to deal with these problems. So I had to realize, like, yes, we could be free, but let's just put a little bit of structure behind it, because though I don't like to be rigid, I understand the importance of having a system and having structure in your life, because it'll help ground you. And then it also allows you to be more free, because imagine taking care of your shit, you have more time and more mental space to be happier and freer because you already took care of the things that you needed to take care of. So building a routine helps me be more disciplined. And then it also helped me to trust myself more, because the reason why I wasn't able to actually see the things that I wanted to do through is because I didn't trust myself. I didn't believe that I was gonna do what I said that I was gonna do, because I didn't have any discipline. And then there also wasn't any accountability or any repercussions for my actions. But when I realized, like, Janet, you can either stay this way and be this person, or you can actually be more disciplined, trust yourself more, actually do the things that you say you're gonna do for yourself so that you can become a better person. Because the thing is, if anyone was to call me right now and say, Janet, I need you to come do this for me, or tomorrow, can you do it? I'm there. Like, people trust me to be there for them. Like, that's a non-negotiable, and I make it a point to be there for other people. But how can I do that if I'm not even there for myself? You mean to tell me if I say I'm gonna go to the gym in the evening, I don't even believe myself? I don't believe myself to say, you know what? I said I'm going to the gym this evening, which means I'm going to the gym this evening. Like, non-negotiable. I said it, we're going to the gym. But because prior me used to be like, okay, girl, we're gonna go to the gym today. And then I'm like, nah, I'm tired, girl, tomorrow. Myself looks at myself and like, I know we weren't going. Of course you're gonna say tomorrow. Like, of course. Because I don't trust you to actually follow through. So with me creating a routine and actually every single day doing something to better myself, it builds trust within myself, and it shows myself like, oh, you're really serious because you're doing this every single day. Okay, well, I'm trusting you more to make these decisions about life. I'm trusting you more to actually follow through with the things that you say you're gonna do for yourself. Okay, cool, like, I like this vibe. And then it also helps me be more disciplined and stay consistent to the things that I say that I wanna do and accomplish. All right, so the next thing is trying new things. Before I really was devoted and disciplined to this change and involvement in my life, I was very comfortable. What has helped me just get out of a space of being comfortable, because this time frame is very uncomfortable. Anytime you're trying to change or evolve, it's not supposed to feel comfortable. It's not supposed to feel good all the time. Like, you are literally transforming. So there's going to be times where you don't even feel like yourself, because you are changing into this new person. So as you're changing into this new person, now is a good time to start inviting new things, new experiences into your life. For me personally, it has helped me just understand like how much power I have in determining the flow of my life. Like, I can be comfortable, I can stay here, I can do the same things, live life this way, and I'll probably be okay. Like, I'll be fine for the most part. But at the same time, I wouldn't tap into the power that I have to be able to literally change so much about my life and change the trajectory of my life and be the best version of myself. I wouldn't have the power to tap into that. Like, I can stay stagnant, but if I try this new thing, if I go for this new experience, I could literally be changing my life just because of a decision that I made. So trying new things allows you to open your mind to new experiences, new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing yourself, and also new ways of understanding yourself and understanding what you like, because you're becoming a newer version of yourself. So you're gonna want to like new things and try new things, and try things that you've probably been wanting to try for a long time, but you always had an excuse, or you didn't have much time, or you didn't have money, you didn't have whatever. Just try it. Like, this is the time to just be like, you know what? I don't usually get this, but let me get it today, you know? Or I've been wanting to try it, let me try it. Like, that's the energy that we're bringing. We are just going for it, we're trying it. And on a larger scale, it's going for opportunities, going for new experiences. You've been wanting to book that trip to Mexico since 2 years ago. Why haven't you booked it? Book the trip, plan a week, plan a weekend, book the trip. You've been wanting to try that new restaurant so bad. Who are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Get dressed, go take yourself out to the restaurant. You've been wanting to go start that channel, or start that blog, or start that new career path. What are we waiting for? Like, let's just try it. Let's just go for it. And what's the worst that can happen? Even if it doesn't work out, you learned something in the process of it, because you are trusting yourself to try something new. Okay, so the next thing that has been very helpful for me is seeking knowledge and also drawing inspiration. I like to watch videos that talk about evolving, being your best self, like ways to just be better overall. And also listening to podcasts, reading books, just trying to seek as much information as I can, because when you are in this time frame, you could feel probably isolated, like no one really understands what you're going through. It kind of feels like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, but you are in this cocoon, and it's just really hard to just kind of navigate it and explain it to people to where they understand if they're not there yet. It's valuable to watch other videos of people who have been through this journey, who have gotten to a better version of themselves. You don't have to take everything that everyone says and apply it to your life, but you just take what resonates with you. And it helps motivate you to keep going, because you know that you're not the only one, and people have been where you are and look where they have gotten. So it's just a good thing for me personally to make sure that I am not doing this alone, and trying to receive as much information as possible to help me on this journey. And then drawing inspiration. So I know who my higher self is, right? I know who the best version of me is. But what makes it motivating for me is to see other women who embody what my higher self is and the best version of myself is, because I can see it through other women. Like, I can see like the evolvement. I can see you being the best version of yourself. You exude that energy, you exude that aura. So when I follow women or watch women who are ultimately where I want to be and who I can relate to in terms of the best version of myself, it's very inspiring and it's very motivating. For example, my go-to girl, if I'm ever like in the funk, or I'm like, girl, I don't know, like, can we get there? Are we gonna get there? What are we doing? Sabrina Elba. Sabrina Elba. She does it for me every time. Like, that's my girl. I don't know her personally, but when I am like, Janet, I don't know, girl, are we going to make it? Are we going to see this version of ourselves? I look at Sabrina Elba and I'm like, okay, now we can do it. We can do it. Because she embodies the vibe of my higher self. Beautiful, smart, fashionable, enjoys life, well-dressed, fine husband. Period. Fine husband, you know, looking good, doing good in the world. I'm not trying to live her life, but I'm inspired by the way that she so intentionally lives hers. She is bomb as hell. What are aspects of her life that resonate with me and my higher self that I can draw inspiration for, that will help motivate me be the best version of myself? So that's how I look at it, and that's how it's been helpful for me, because it lets me know, like, nah girl, keep going, don't stop. Because if you stop, you're going to stay here. At least keep going and see what can come of it. And the last thing that I will mention is seeking professional help, because I feel like once you start a journey of trying to just be better and elevate yourself, a lot of things start coming to the surface. A lot of things internally start coming up. It's important to understand that you are not alone, and you also can't do it alone. And I feel like the reason why a lot of people don't really start a journey of trying to get better or improve themselves is because of being uncomfortable with what may come up and having to deal with those things. Like, it's easier to be complacent and be comfortable than it is to face things head on and deal with them. For me personally, I am about to start therapy again. I did therapy about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was great, but I feel like right now where I am in my life, I am much more intentional about my reason for therapy and really clear on what areas that I do need to improve on, and I really want to dig deeper into so that I could be a better version of myself. Like, it's very clear to me now than it was when I was 24, 25. So just know that you don't have to do this alone. It's okay to seek help for other areas that you may not know. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and self-diagnose and self-treat myself. Like, go to the doctor, go to the therapist, go see whoever you need to see in whatever areas you're trying to improve, so that you can make sure that you are getting the correct information so that you know how to move forward. All in all, like, those are the top things that I have been implementing in my life right now to help me evolve and help me on this journey of being the best version of myself, that I just wanted to share with y'all. Like, I'm not perfect by any means. I'm still trying to figure it out. But right now I am just very diligent and disciplined in making sure that I am sticking by these things and really putting the full effort in to be that best version of myself. And in doing all of this, the biggest thing that is honestly the most important is to have grace for yourself, because you haven't been here before. Take it day by day. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Set realistic goals that you know that you can actually accomplish and follow through with. Be true to yourself and be authentic to yourself, because that'll allow this journey to be so much more beautiful if you are doing things that are actually true to you and not what other people say you need to do and how your life needs to look and what a routine looks like for that person needs to look the same for you, or what, like, you are in control of how you want this to play out. You haven't navigated this space before, and you have to have grace for yourself as you are trying to continue and evolve and get better. Like, it's literally implementing these steps and practicing them every single day that you are eventually going to see results. I had seen a tweet the other day, and I'm gonna put it up here, but it basically was talking about like focusing on the small wins going 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, instead of feeling like you have to go from 0 to 100. And I think that that's where a lot of people, including myself, where I used to struggle at, was feeling like I needed to accomplish everything all at one time. When in all actuality, you just need to break it down into little bite-sized pieces and then implement those on a day-to-day basis. And that's going to ultimately have a domino effect and allow you to grow at a good pace and help you create something that is sustainable. So have grace for yourself, be patient, be kind to yourself, speak nice things to yourself. Even if you don't believe it, just keep telling yourself until the more you tell yourself, eventually it's gonna be like, you know what, girl, I believe it. Golly, you done told me this 500 times over the span of 500 days. I guess I have to believe that this is who I am. So the more that you pour into yourself, the more that you big up yourself and challenge yourself to be the best version of yourself, it's gonna be rewarding. And I'm talking to y'all as I'm talking to myself, because like I mentioned, I'm on this journey too of just evolving and just bettering myself, because I know that God didn't play with me. Like God did his thing when he made me. It would be a disgrace to the amazing work that he has done in creating me for me not to live my full potential, for me not to be the best version of myself. There's so many gifts that he has given me, so many talents, so many opportunities and experiences that he has created for me to live out in this world. And if I don't decide to walk in that, I'm doing myself a disservice. I really am. So I just want to encourage you and motivate you and inspire you to not give up on yourself. Do not give up on yourself. I know it's not easy, but don't give up. Do not give up. But I hope this video was helpful for y'all. If y'all want more chatty content, feel free to let me know. And if you like the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I love you guys so much. As always, peace and love, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye, y'all.